Hello and welcome to Hersley. I'm John McNamara and I'm here with David Radley. Hello, David.
Hello.
Hello. So we've managed to capture Brian Venn. Hello, Brian. How are you, buddy?
Hello, I'm not too bad, thank you.
Good man, good man. So, Brian, can you tell us who you are, where you at IBM?
Okay, so I'm Brian Venn. I've been at IBM for close to 15 years now. Been worked on many projects in that time: business integration, MQ replay, web process server, business process manager.
Which was your favourite?
I would like to say since I've been at IBM, I did enjoy MQ replay. It was quite a nice short project. Lots of pressure, but once we got it out there, it was fantastic.
Brilliant. And what do you want to talk us? What do you want to talk to us about today?
Okay, so today I think we're going to talk about BPM, IBM's Business Process Manager.
That is an awesome space to be in for. What sort of interesting things are going on?
Okay, so the Business Process Manager, it's the evolution of what was previously IBM's WebSphere Process Server and the WebSphere Enterprise Service Bus.
So this is workflow, yeah?
Yes, and there was also a third product called WebSphere Lombardi server, and with the acquisition of Lombardi, they decided to bring the WebSphere Process Server, WebSphere Enterprise Service Bus, and Lombardi Process Server all together into one Business Process Manager product. So it was a one-stop shop for all your business process management needs.
Brilliant.
Fantastic. So, so why was that important?
Okay, so the Business Process Manager, as the name entails, is for customers who want to manage their business processes. And what the IBM BPM process gives you is ability to do that and to do it quite quickly using the various development tools that come with the product.
This is like the designer.
Yes, the designer tool mainly. The process designer tool it allows you to develop business processes through the use of various swim lanes. And now in your business, you've got various people, various roles. You can use the process designer for is to take those various roles and put the roles into swim lanes. So, for example, you might have a sales team who they're out there trying to get people to buy their products, so they may place an order.
Yep.
You might have management teams who have to approve the order, approve discounts, and they would have their own swim lane. And then you might have distribution teams, which again, they ship the orders. So
we've got a workflow which is going to move tasks between these various roles, which are represented by the swim lanes.
Yes.
And you've done one on this is BPM on System Z, yeah?
Yes. Basically, my role on the BPM product was system verification test (SVT) for the BPM product on System Z.
So why would someone put it on System Z? Because you can run it on all of the on other platforms as well, can't you?
Indeed, it does run all distributed platforms, but where you would want to run it on System Z is System Z gives you the reliability, the availability, and the scalability of for running your BPM product.
Right.
Now, with the BPM being built on WebSphere, you've already got your scalability and reliability, but when you run it on System Z, it gives you that much more, especially if you're running business flow applications that are mission critical, and also BPM also needs a database to run with. So again, you typically would use DB2 on ZOS for that,
right.
Which again, having your database, your DB2 running on ZOS, again gives you that zero downtime, and it also allows your database administrators to do their various tweaking, things like auditability. If you're doing financial transactions, things like that, running on DB2 on Z gives you the ability to do that a lot better.
So if you're a System Z shop at the moment, this would be quite an easy fit for you to run this.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. It sounds like a great evolution of a product I used to do a consultancy on, which was the modeler product, where you could create a sort of tasky workflow, assign them to roles and resources, and then you could map them into swim lanes, you can see immediately which resources were going to be overutilized and which ones weren't going to be utilized at all. So was there an aspect of this which was particularly interesting for you?
Well, coming in to the product when the Lombardy side of things were integrated with the Process Hub as well, is the dashboards were greatly improved, especially in the most recent, the 8.5 release. So when the user, going back to with the swim lanes of the sales team and the managers, when you logged into these things, you could quite quickly see via the swim lanes in the portal, you could only see the sales. You don't want your sales team to be able to approve orders. So your sales team would log in as somebody in the sales team. They would quickly see, right, what task can I pick up? Maybe there's something at a risk of going overdue because BPM would all look at stuff, say, right, this task should take an hour to do. Hey, it should have been. It should be done. If it's not being done within that hour, it would tag it as being at risk with about 5-10 minutes to go. Yeah. So you can see, right, this task, someone better pick this up soon, and it would also show you which tasks were overdue. So you could log in and quite quickly see what tasks were where and what state of play.
So this dashboard, is this for the people who are in the swim lanes, or is it for the manager who's overseeing the whole process, or is it for both?
It's for both, because you could have, because your managers could also look at which teams are running, what's the state of play is, and what tasks have got assigned to each team. So if I come in as a manager, I could see, right, the sales team have got 10 orders that have been placed, yeah, and the distribution team have got 15 orders in place. They could see, right, that one's going to be going overdue soon, so I need to give those guys a nudge. And you could also see you could even do it down to the user level. So let's say there's somebody in the distribution team called Fred who said, well, I'm going to pick up that shipping order, yeah, and it's a risk of going overdue, or it's 2 days overdue. Then the manager could come in and say, hey, Fred, what's going on there?
Right.
So immediately they can go in, they log in, they can see in one place, right, how many orders I got coming in, how many in process. Yeah. It also gives you various graphs that show you over the time when orders were placed, mm-hmm, both on an hourly basis and over a longer time scales. So if you had, say, you wanted to see specifically, right, when are most orders coming into my system? Are they coming like that Monday morning? Is that when so I need to get more staff on a Monday? Or maybe there's a bit of a lull towards the end of the day. So why is it a bit of a lull? So you can analyze the dates and times of when workflows are increasing and when they're coming off.
So presumably it's got inbuilt support for timeouts and things like that within a step and notifications.
Yes,
so it wouldn't have to be that the manager manually gets in and nudges somebody. It could be that the system could do that automatically with the notification framework.
Yes, there's various alerts that can be set up in the system to say, right, when this gets to this state, alert me or send me an email. So it's all there. So the minute a manager kind of logs in, or you can immediately see notification. One of the other interesting aspects of the portal is that it also has a news feed on the side. So within a task or things happen, you can see, like say, Tony started this task, he's picked this up, yep, it's gone to Susan, the manager. Susan, the manager, has approved it, and she approved it at such and such a time. Okay. And then it's gone off to Sheila in the shipping department, and she's picked it up, and she's dispatched the order. So the newsfeed gives you a way that you can also see exactly what's going on in the system.
Brilliant. Yes. So I'm sold. Sounds awesome.
Yes.
So where can I find more information?
So one thing before we do the sounds awesome bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
It does get more awesome.
So the one thing that I was struck by is the multi-device support, which I think is something which was new to me in terms of in this space.
Yeah.
So workflows, I think, is a pretty useful thing for an enterprise to use to manage processes, so that you're more in control. But can you tell a bit more about the multi-device side of it, which is the bit that you've been involved with?
Yeah, sure. I mean, basically, this kind of evolved from a developer works article that I came across, which it was a scenario around a car tires shop, which involved 3 swim lanes. Which it was the sales team, the management team, and the distribution team. And so we deployed this, and we got this running on our System Z servers. But we also then looked at it and say, right, all the workload is happening on the System Z server, but can we work with these workflows and these tasks using different devices at different stages? So we used a worklight server to drive to develop a application which we could then deploy to an Android device.
Right.
And so
by application, you mean just an app?
Just an app.
Yeah.
Yep. And so basically, the app was then, I took just a bog standard Android tablet. I deployed the app. The application talked to the worklight server, and the worklight server then talked to BPM on ZOS.
Yeah.
So we had it then has the sales team had their Android devices, and they could go in, fill in the details, and kick off, place an order.
Right.
Then,
I'm wondering whether or not you have iOS support.
Yes, the idea was then, says, okay, so we've got the sales team, they've all got their Android devices, they're kicking off, they're placing orders. Let's say the management team, they're all out in the field and they've got iPads and iOS devices. So what we had then, there's a application in the Apple App Store for BPM. So basically, we downloaded that and we got that working configured and working with our, pretty much out of the box worked with the BPM on ZOS. So we had it then where the sales team had their Android devices, they would place the orders, they're out on the shop floor, chasing customers, placing these things. The managers, they could be anywhere, they would say, right, this order is over £10,000, or there was a rule within the BPM to say, right, if an order is over such and such, or there's more than a 10% discount, the manager and someone in the manager swim lane needs to approve that order. Okay. So they would have to tick the box. And then finally, we had it going then just to a normal laptop where the shipping department would log in just through the browser and complete the order.
So presumably the managers and the sales department, they could have a mixture of Apple and Android. They're not restricted just to Android for one swim lane.
No.
Yeah,
indeed,
so it could be a mix and match.
Indeed.
They bring your own device sort of thing.
Yes, there's absolutely no reason that we couldn't, if you can just completely reverse the thing, where we could have had the sales team out on the shop floor, they could have been the ones with the Apple devices. You could have the managers, could they say the manager, I want this on an Android device, do the approval on the Android device, and again, the shipping guys have their normal laptops in the background for the standard browser. So yes, any kind of mix and match, bring your own device. It's kind of bring your own device and use it at any stage in the process to pick up any tasks that are assigned to you.
Sounds good. I mean, that sounds like an exciting thing for me, because everyone these days has got a device in their pocket, haven't they? It's
indeed, yes,
or a tablet.
Yes.
So we seem to restrict people just to browser usage would seem to be quite restrictive. So to be able to use the device that you have and it's configured as in your pocket.
Indeed. I mean, even at the sales team, they had the iPad. Say all of them they all left them at home. They can still then log in through their normal browsers or use their Android devices.
So it's the identities of the people will be what actually you tracks with this. Did you use LDAP?
Yes. Basically, within the scenario, we just used a Microsoft LDAP, Active Directory LDAP server in the background just for doing user resolution. But we also had RACF running as well, so you could log in as using that. But again, we could have used Tivoli. You could use Tivoli LDAP, any form of LDAP, linked into our ZOS on WebSphere, and you log in.
Excellent.
Use Federation, log in, and use it. All good.
Oh.
And so yeah, I mean, one of the other interesting things that we did with our BPM on ZOS was we had another scenario which was kind of based around a kind of medical environment, where we had the BPM on ZOS at one point would go off and talk to a ODM server. ODM is operational decision management, which is basically a business rules engine. And within that, we had we had a nurse's swim lane where the nurse would go in and triage a patient. So they'd take their blood pressure, their pulse, and a few other details. At that point, it would then make a call out to ODM. And within ODM, we wrote a few kind of just quite simple business rules to say, if the pulse is greater than this value, add 10 to the rating. If the blood pressure is high, add 50 to the rating. A bit like a credit score for health. And then it would come back to
the higher the rating, the worse the health.
The worse the health. So at that stage, it would then go back to Business Process Manager, and depending on the score, if the score is above 100, send them to the emergency team. If they're above 200, send them to the get them in now, the super emergency team. Or if they're less than 100, get them to wait 3 hours. So it basically showed BPM working with lots of different products.
And then in different business scenarios.
Well. Indeed, yes.
Cool.
Okay.
Great.
Yeah.
So where can I find out more information?
A business poster manager. There's various stuff on the IBM website. If you want to find out more about things like the BPM dashboards and what you can actually do with the product, if you look up on DeveloperWorks, I do have 3 or 4 articles on there,
cool,
which will take you through some of these scenarios. The scenario I mentioned with the car tire ordering is also on DeveloperWorks. So if you go look in there, you can see exactly how that works within the mobile environment.
Fantastic.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So the first scenario was in a car garage?
It was in the garage, yeah, a car tire place, yes.
And you were desperate to tell us a joke about it.
Well, I think you were desperate to tell it.
Okay.
There was desperation around anyway.
Okay, so we will finish with a joke then. So this cowboy walks into a German car dealership and says, "Howdy."
I like
Very
it.
good.
And the tumbleweed rolls.
No, not at all. We can hit it in subtitles. It's all right.
Sounds good to me.
Thank you so very much. Take care. Thank you.
Lovely. Thank you.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.